Welcome to Neek, which stands for Nerd slash Geek. And last year was like the first year I sort of really got into like the Oscars and like that sort of award season stuff. I got into it some with the Oscars and watched the whole thing and stuff. I'd seen like the actual Oscars like before, but like that's the time I started getting into it, looking at who's going to win and stuff. And then this year I've been following it all the way through, following all the different award shows, thinking about who's going to get nominated and stuff. So I thought I should do my own nomination video because we're getting the Oscar nominations very soon. So I want to do my predictions. So, yeah, let's get started. So yeah, I haven't seen all the films that I have up for my nomination predictions, but I am trying to work through all these Oscar films, trying to, before the actual Oscars happen, and I have seen quite a few already. I have already reviewed some, like Mank and Minari, on this channel. You can go check them out in that corner, but then also, there are some other ones that I've seen, like Judas and the Black Messiah, One Night in Miami, and The Trial of the Chicago 7, that I have not reviewed on here. But if you want to know my thoughts on them, you can check out my reviews on Letterboxd to sort of know my thoughts on them. But yeah, I'm going to try to get through all these films before the actual Oscars. So yeah, I'm going to be going over my predictions for all of the categories except live action short and documentary short, just because I don't really know anything about those two categories. I've never really heard of any of the movies in there, and a couple of the other categories that I don't really know that much about. I might not fill all the spots, but I'm definitely going to say who I think these people I'm pretty sure are going to get nominated. So yeah, Best Picture. This one, the winner is actually really easy. Like, Nomadland is going to win. And this isn't a win prediction, this is just a nomination prediction. So if even somehow Nomadland doesn't win, it's still getting nominated. Like, I have no doubt of putting that at my number one choice. And then under that, I have The Trial of the Chicago 7. This one is just a really safe bet for getting nominated. And then I have Minari and Promising Young Woman, which could be the two, like, surprise winners. If someone besides Nomadland wins, I could see these ones being the surprise winners. But I do think Trial would have a higher chance of getting nominated, even though I think all four of these are pretty easily getting nominated. And then we have Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, One Night in Miami. Yeah, those just ones all seem like pretty safe bets. Those top seven, I'm like, those ones are pretty easily getting in. And the last three spots, well, we might not technically get 10 nominees. The way they do it is kind of weird, but I filled in 10 spots because that's the max amount of nominees we could get. Judas and the Black Messiah, The Father, and Sound of Metal. I think those three are probably going to be those ones. I don't exactly know in the order. Right now I have Sound of Metal at number 10, so that would be the one that might not get it because it might end up being 9 nominees. And I haven't seen Sound of Metal yet. It's one of the ones I haven't seen, but people really love that film. There's a lot of love for that film, so I feel like people might be mad. But then The Father also has it, and Judas. Like, I feel like if any of those three don't get it, people will be like, oh, they should have gotten it. But, yeah, ones besides that could get in. I'm pretty set on those 10 as my top 10. The other ones that could get in are The Five Bloods and News of the World. I don't think they're going to get in, but I do think they have the most chance. At this point, I'd love to see Soul get in there, but I don't think it's going to get in. And then next we have Director. And even if somehow Nomadland doesn't win Best Picture, I'm very certain Chloe Zhao is going to win Best Director. So that's a very easy number one. And then number two, we have David Fincher for Mank. David Fincher is actually like the only really person on here who has like a more veteran director, because the way this year played out, we got lots of more like first-time directors, second-time directors, their first time in the Oscar race. The only people who had really like seasoned people who had done this sort of Oscar stuff before in terms of like the director and writing have been David Fincher and Aaron Sorkin. But yeah, I think David Fincher is a pretty safe bet for director. And then I have Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, and then Aaron Sorkin for The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. I think those sort of work. The person who I could see getting in here is Regina King for One Night in Miami. And then we have actress. This one is tough for deciding a winner, but it's a pretty easy for who's getting nominated. So Andra Day surprised everyone and won the Golden Globes, and people were like, literally, people were deciding for the other four to win, and Andra Day somehow won. And the Golden Globes sometimes have those like off the wall sort of things, so I don't think Andra Day is going to win, but I'm pretty sure this secures her a spot in not the nominations. For now, I'm like, okay, Andra Day is getting nominated, and then I'm pretty set on the other four. Vanessa Kirby, I don't think she has that big of a chance of winning, but she's definitely getting nominated. And then the three that I do think have a chance of winning is Carey Mulligan, Frances McDormand, and Viola Davis. And I have Mulligan at number one because she did win Critics' Choice, but I think Frances McDormand could easily win. There's going to be a lot of Nomadland love, so I could easily see her winning. And even Viola Davis, I mean, yeah, I could see go either three of those ways. And then actor, this one I'm also pretty set on. Chadwick Boseman is most likely winning this. Yeah, it's, I mean, wow. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman passed away, but I don't think that's going to be why he gets it. I do think that it's going to be because he deserves it, but also it's just like cool to see him getting his last sort of role, getting an award. That'd be really cool to see him get the Best Actor. And then after that, Anthony Hopkins and Riz Ahmed are both getting this. They've gotten a lot of love for these roles, and I definitely think they're getting it. And then we have Stephen Yeun and Gary Oldman, and those feel about right for those fourth and fifth spots. Supporting actress. Okay, so this one, I'm just doing nominations, so I'm doing it more of how much I think they'll get nominated more than how much I think they'll win, because I honestly have no idea who's going to win this category. This is definitely the most just out there category. The Critics' Choice went with Maria Bakalova, and then the Golden Globes in a category, musical and comedy category, where it wasn't even like competing with all these other people. Maria Bakalova didn't win. Jodie Foster won for drama, and I didn't think she was going to get nominated. This is just a crazy category, but I'm pretty set on those five for getting nominated. I have no idea who's going to win, but I'm pretty sure those are going to be the five who get nominated. And then we have supporting actor, and this one, we all know the winner, and that is Daniel Kaluuya, and he totally deserves it. The other nominations I do have are Leslie Odom Jr. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one guy from One Night in Miami getting a nom. And then the one person from The Trial of the Chicago 7 getting a nom is Sacha Baron Cohen. I feel like that's pretty set. It's kind of interesting because The Trial of the Chicago 7 has a bunch of great actors and a bunch of great performances, but they're all competing in the same category because they don't have a lead. So I think Sacha Baron Cohen is going to be the only one getting it from The Trial of the Chicago 7. But if someone else does, I could see Mark Rylance getting in there. And then I have Paul Raci for Sound of Metal and Chadwick Boseman getting for The Five Bloods. It'd be awesome to see Chadwick Boseman getting 2 nominations. But yeah. Adapted Screenplay. Now, this one, Nomadland, I have in my top choice. It's going to get nominated pretty easily, and it's getting a lot of love. So I'm pretty confident that's going to win. Then we also have One Night in Miami, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, The Father. They're all pretty easily going to get nominated here. And then for the 5th spot, I had to pick News of the World. That has the biggest chance of getting nominated for Best Picture out of these. But I could also maybe see Borat getting in. But yeah, I think it goes to News of the World. Adapted screenplay isn't nearly as competitive as original screenplay. Because in original screenplay, I have no idea who to do for my 5th spot. The Trial of the Chicago 7, Promising Young Woman, Minari, and Mank are all getting it. I don't see it going any other way. At the Critics' Choice, Promising Young Woman actually won original screenplay, which I think gives it a chance, but I'm still have Aaron Sorkin at number 1 because it's Aaron Sorkin, and lots of people have been praising the Trial of the Chicago 7 screenplay, but it could go to Promising Young Woman, and then Minari and Mank are pretty safe bets. But for this third choice, I could see it going to Sound of Metal, Soul, or Judas and the Black Messiah. And Judas and the Black Messiah, I do think has the biggest chance of getting Best Picture. I would put it over Sound of Metal, but I feel like on screenplay specifically, Sound of Metal could get in over it. And then Soul, Pixar movies, if you look at them a lot, get the original screenplay nod. Like, obviously, Toy Story 3 and Up got it because they're also nominated for Best Picture. But even when Pixar movies aren't nominated for Best Picture, almost all of their ones considered their best get nominated for original screenplay. The only ones that I can think of that didn't are Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., and Coco. But like all the other ones did. The Incredibles, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Inside Out, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, a bunch of them got original screenplay. So that's why I kind of want to go with Soul. And I think it might be able to get in there. Ooh, that is tough. I'm gonna go with Sound of Metal, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Soul or Judas got in, but I'm taking the safe bet and going with Sound of Metal. And then we have Cinematography. And Nomadland is like most likely gonna win this. It's also just a pretty safe nomination. And then Mank, Tenet, and News of the World are all pretty safe for nominations. All these movies are gonna like do a lot really well on all these technical awards. So cinematography, obviously, they're gonna get it. But then for the fifth spot is kind of hard. Ooh, it could go to Judas, Da 5 Bloods, or Minari. I'm going with Minari, actually. I just love the cinematography in that movie, and I do think because there's going to be a lot of Minari love, it can pull in there. But I do see Judas getting in there. I also love the cinematography in Judas, so I don't want it to not get nominated. But I don't know. This is tough. But I can't not nominate one of the top other 4. So I'm going with Minari, but if Judas gets in or Da 5 Bloods, I wouldn't be too surprised. And then we have costume design. Ma Rainey's pretty safe top choice. And then Mank, Emma, News of the World, Mulan. I feel like those are pretty safe top 5. The only other one I could see getting in is Personal History of David Copperfield. Film editing. The Trial of the Chicago 7, I'm pretty sure, is getting it. And then Nomadland. It's going to be between those two for the winners. But then also Sound of Metal tied with Trial of the Chicago 7 at Critics' Choice. So I think I'm definitely nominating it in editing now. So those are my top 3 choices. And then Mank is going to get it. And then The Father. Those feel like a pretty safe top 5. For other films getting in, honestly, I could see Promising Young Woman, News of the World, or Tenet somehow getting in there. But I think it's going to be those 5. Makeup and hairstyling, I'm also going with Ma Rainey and Mank. They're getting both like the costume, makeup, and hairstyling as my top choices. And then Hillbilly, Elegy, Birds of Prey, and Emma sort of round up my top 5. Yeah. Production design. So I have Mank nominated for like 12 awards, but this is actually the only one I haven't winning. I'm pretty sure that Mank is going to win production design. Interesting. So the BAFTA awards, they were kind of crazy this year. They like did a bunch of random things. Well, for some of the categories, like the acting and the directing, they only had like a jury decide of like 10 to 12 people. And then the other ones, they just went for some weird choices and they tried to go for some more indie films and stuff. And they seem to not like Mank that much. Like even in these technical categories where Mank is getting it everywhere, they didn't really nominate Mank in any of them except production design. And I think that's why it's going to win, because even they, who didn't like Mank, couldn't deny its production design. So I'm pretty sure it's a pretty safe bet. And then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, News of the World, Mulan, and Tenet are rounding up my top 5. And then we have score. So the Critics' Choice, 6 things were nominated. And I'm pretty sure the Oscar's going to go to 5 out of those 6 things. But I don't know which one it's not going into. So Soul is a pretty safe bet. It's going to win. It's definitely getting nominated. And then I have Mank, Minari, Tenet, and News of the World. So the one I'm leaving out is The Midnight Sky, but I could see it sneak in there. And then we have Song. I don't really know much about the songs, but I have sort of listened to all of these. I think Speak Now is going to win. It's a really great song, and Leslie Odom Jr. has a great voice. And then we have Sound, and Sound of Metal is going to win this. If you have sound in your name, I'm pretty sure you're going to win the sound category. So obviously this year they mixed the 2 sound categories. So I know some people are like, wait, why would Tenet get in there? Because lots of people don't like the sound mixing in it, that they can't hear anything. But that's the sound mixing. The sound editing in Tenet is great. So I feel like because they're mixing the sound categories, I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to get a nomination. Also, even though people did have problems with the sound mixing at the Oscars, Christopher Nolan movies lots of times get the sound mixing and editing in the past, even when people did complain that they couldn't hear the dialogue, like Dunkirk, and even won that. So now we're on to visual effects, and Tenet is going to win this. I don't see it not winning this. Lots of the blockbusters did not end up getting released, so that obviously takes away from lots of these spots. But Tenet has been getting it everywhere. And just like the BAFTAs didn't like Mank, they didn't like Tenet and didn't nominate a bunch of places, but they still had to nominate visual effects because its visual effects are amazing. And then The Midnight Sky, it's a space movie and stuff. That's a pretty safe bet. And then Mank, Mulan, I'm pretty sure going to get it. And then the other one I have is Welcome to Chincha. And that's actually a documentary, which would be crazy if a documentary got nominated. But they use visual effects to like hide the identities of the people. So I actually think it could get in there. And then my 6th spot would be Birds of Prey. I do think that has a chance. And then we have animated feature. And Soul is going to win this. I'm pretty sure of it. And then we also have Wolfwalkers next. And I also loved Wolfwalkers, so I would sort of be fine if it beats Soul. But I did prefer Soul overall, but we know Soul's going to win it. But Wolfwalker's definitely going to be nominated. And then Onward and Over the Moon are also just very safe bets. Like, they're both getting nominated. And then the 5th spot is a little bit more tricky, but I'm going with The Croods, A New Age. There's not like a set 5th spot, but it did get pretty good reviews. Not like really good, but it got pretty good reviews, so I'll go with Croods, A New Age. So yeah, documentary. I haven't seen any documentaries this year, so I don't really know as much about some of these other categories, but I have heard of lots of these movies and heard stuff, and I'm pretty sure these 5 are going to get nominated. I don't know which one's going to win, but I have time in my number 1 spot, but I'm pretty sure these 5 are going to get nominated. And then we have international film, and this is one of the categories I don't know all 5 that are getting nominated because I haven't really heard enough about any of these films, but Another Round is going to win. I'm pretty safe that Another Round is going to win. And I also have Collective in there because it's getting nominated for Best Documentary, so that would make sense. And then we have Animated Short, and If Anything Happens, I Love You is going to win this. I haven't seen it yet. I see it on Netflix, and I'm not in the state to watch it because based off the subject matter, you have to be ready to watch it, and I'm not in the mood. But maybe I'll watch it before the Oscars actually happen, but I'm pretty sure that's going to win. And then I'm pretty sure the 2 Pixar shorts, Out and Burrow, are also going to get nominated. But yeah, I don't really know anything else about these other ones. So yeah, those are my Oscar predictions. I'm going to be doing a video when the Oscar nominations are announced, sort of reacting to them, and then I'll also do a video when the actual Oscars happen. So expect some more Oscar content from me. Comment down below, who do you think is going to win any of these categories? Have you seen any of these movies? Please like and subscribe, and keep watching Neek.